Hi, I'm John Kingston, the editor-at-large of FreightWaves, and I'm here at the SmartDrive Users Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, to talk to Jason Palmer, the Chief Operating Officer of SmartDrive, about what SmartDrive is doing with autonomous vehicles. Where is SmartDrive in the autonomous development?
Well, we really focus on trying to help developers to better understand the real-world driving environment that's out there. Where are all the edge cases, the things that they maybe don't think about?
You have massive amounts of data that your cameras pick up. Are you feeding that data to developers for them to understand what it is and how cameras can play a key role in them in the autonomous vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, there's really a push now to create simulations, and so what we'll do is we'll examine where they're going to be deploying their autonomous vehicles, what locations, what route types, what types of vehicles they're going to be deploying.
I'm a developer and they're having trouble putting together an autonomous car that gets through this intersection that drives drivers crazy. Yeah. I'm assuming you can give them massive amounts of data about the traffic patterns and all the possible incidents that kind of intersection may have undergone.
Yeah, we back up kind of one step from that. We'll help them first understand which intersections are the most dangerous, which ones do we see, the most near-miss collisions at, and then what we do is we take those near-miss collisions and then develop simulations of those. It's really where it comes to the unexpected is where SmartDrive comes into play. When
you started working with these developers, did they fully grasp how valuable camera information could be, or was that kind of a revelation to them?
Well, I think once we start showing them videos of the intersections or information about the intersections that they're going to be dealing with, these simulations, they really then start to go, wow, I never really thought of that. I never really thought about that corner case or that, and how my vehicle might deal with that.
So, how's the history of SmartDrive with autonomous vehicles?
I think we've been focused on this probably about 3 years, and it first started from discussions about deploying our technology in their vehicles to help them understand when things happened, and then those discussions evolved from there for us helping to share with them some of our statistics on the most dangerous intersections, what things they need to be aware of about the environment that you're going to be operating in.
Now that you've worked with them for 3 years, you're probably in a pretty good position to give an absolute firm declaration of when we're going to have autonomous vehicles on the road. I mean, but seriously, where do you see the technology at?
Yeah, I mean, I think where we'll see it first, and we're already seeing it this year, is we're working with some of these companies during their testing phase or early deployment phase, is where it's going to be most simple.
Are you imagining in the near future fully autonomous vehicles or just kind of driver assist type vehicles where the technology of autonomous vehicles helps the driver but the driver is still in control?
Yeah, we certainly will see level 4, which is there's still a safety driver in the vehicle, but I know as we look at the 2021, 2022 model years, we'll start to see the OEMs installing level 2 where it has assisted steering and adaptive cruise control where it's taking over multiple functions within the vehicle.
And when that happens, what's the role of cameras?
Well, I think certainly as we make this progression to autonomy, as we talk about things like level 2, there's going to be a lot of switching of the driving function between the driver and the vehicle. Is it happening safely? And
the capital needed to develop fully autonomous vehicles is staggering in its scope. Now you're on the inside. Is it enough out there? There's a lot of money being thrown at it. Is it going to be adequate though?
They have enough capital, but I think it's taking everybody longer than they expected. But we'll see this iteration as they go through different operating domains that become more and more complicated. Urban driving is definitely one of those that's more complicated and will take a lot more capital in order to be successful there.
The industry is in the middle of a driver squeeze. Are fears of job destruction because of autonomous vehicles, they're real?
I think we'll be at level 4 for some time where there's a safety driver in the vehicle all the time. I think it'll introduce the opportunity for the safety driver to do potentially other tasks. But again, I think some of the challenge, at least for the next 5 to 10 years, is going to be that driver is going to be expected to be able to take control of that vehicle with very short notice. And so it's important that they're able to pick that up fairly quickly.
Last question, from what you've seen so far, what surprised you most about AVs?
I was surprised how focused they were on the base driving function, which I completely get, and there is so many challenges just with that, different lighting conditions, different weather conditions, different road types. that they really hadn't quite gotten to the edge cases yet. I think that complexity and the advancement of the technology is part of what kind of has slowed people down. And I think the economics, once we get there, are very healthy. But for now, I think we're going to see a slower progression, but still a lot of importance and focus on that category.
Okay, Jason Palmer, the Chief Operating Officer of SmartDrive. I'm John Kingston with FreightWaves. Please join us again.